Israel bonds are basically a loan anyone can make to the state of Israel to help strengthen its economy. And since October 7th and the slaughter and the attacks, Israel bonds have seen more than $3 billion in sales, nearly triple its annual average. And $1.7 billion coming from the U.S., specifically, interestingly enough, Palm Beach County, one of the richest enclaves in America, already seeing a multi-million-dollar return after piling into the high-yielding bonds. Here in a Fox Business exclusive is the president and CEO of Israel Bonds, Dani Naveh. What do you put behind this sudden interest since October 7th in Israeli bonds? Because it's not just coming from the coasts, as you would say. It's coming from a whole bunch of different countries, 35 states here in the U.S., including the heartland.
Yeah, it comes from all over. It's really bipartisan. You can see Democrats and Republicans, the retail sales and the institutional investors are all, from the two sides of the aisles. And what you can see that those $3 billion, really record-breaking numbers, almost 3 times our annual average sales, it comes from people who say that by investment in Israel bonds, they first of all deliver the message that at this time of need, the state of Israel is not alone. They provide funds for the United States' best ally in the Middle East, and they get nice and steady, strong returns.
Well, that's what Joe Abruzzo, the Palm Beach County Comptroller, said was the very reason he piled in. It wasn't political. He said, my duty is to the taxpayers of Palm Beach. And there are different tranches here. You have the Jubilee bonds, and we can put this up so our viewers understand. The Jubilee have pretty significant yields here. The 2-year, 5.12%. Meantime, 3-year, 5.22, 15-year, nearly 6% here. You're limited, though, I think. This you have to buy in tranches of a minimum subscription of $25,000, right? And then you flip it over to the Maccabee version of the bonds. Talk about the Maccabee bonds.
So we have all kind of bonds, with different maturities, 2 to 15 years. And you can buy $1 million. You can also buy $36. You can buy what we call the E-Mazel bonds. You can buy a very small amount of money. And you can get 6.27% these days for those E-Mazel 5 years bonds. You know what? Many people, when they buy bonds, they build a bond with the state of Israel. They become partners of Israel's success story. And especially these days, we have been receiving enormous support from all over. By the way, we are a global company, not only from here in the US, also in Canada, in Europe, in other places. People find it as the best way to express their support for the people of Israel today.
So the Mazel Tov bonds, I love the name. The minimum subscription, you can get in for $100, correct? Now, the yield for the 5-year Mazel bonds, 6.17%.
6.27%.
Oh,
yes.
As of today.
For the e-Mazel, because the Mazel, it's offline. The e-Mazel, you can go online. You can go today to israelbonds.com. You can purchase the e-Mazel, and you can get an extra 10 basis points on the Mazel.
And by the way, you have to hold it till maturity to get that 6%.
Yes, that's right. But we have bonds that you can get the yields twice a year.
You look at the map here: Illinois, Texas, Florida, as we already mentioned, New York. These are the states that are investing the most. Nevada, pretty interesting here. But some of these counties who are buying these for municipal reasons, because they love the returns, it's interesting, they are coming under scrutiny by some people who don't love this. I believe that Palm Beach County residents, at least 50 of them, signed some lawsuit, and they're suing. They don't like the idea of their county using taxpayer money to buy Israeli bonds. What do you say to that?
I would say that those small and noisy bunch of BDS and anti-Semite groups, and what we have to pay attention is, to the other hand, of the enormous support that we see from all over, not just from those institutional treasurers, Democrats and Republicans that buy bonds. By the way, treasurers and local governments, since October 7th, they bought about $1.7 billion of Israel bonds as an expression of support for the United States' best ally in the Middle East. And you can see enormous support from retail, what we call retail customers, all over the world, and of course, especially here in the United States of America.
About $700 million of Palm Beach County's $4.67 billion portfolio is invested in Israel, but I want our viewers to hear what the return has been. It has helped during the tenure of Joe Abruzzo, the controller there who decided to do this. It has helped him bring the annual income of the county from 27 million to 173 million.
Which
from
means
their
that it's not just the support for Israel.
Exactly.
A guy like Mr. Abruzzo has his own fiduciaries. And as part of these fiduciaries, he can show his taxpayers that they get a strong return on their investment. And this is why Israel Bonds is, first of all, about support for Israel, about support for the Jewish homeland, especially during these difficult times that we have been facing since Hamas' vicious terrorist attack on Israel. On the other hand, it can give you a strong and steady return for your taxpayers. And this is why you can see so many treasurers, Democrats and Republicans, that move ahead with an investment in Israel Bonds.
What is the website?
You can go to israelbonds.com today. If you don't have an account, you can open an account and make a purchase. Or you can, if you already have opened an account, you can just go online and make a purchase.
Dani, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Business Angle here. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.